So we're going to go ahead and begin, and we're going to start in child's pose. This is our cardio yoga, excuse me, this morning. So we're going to come right into child's pose, have our blocks and our strap near us. And we're just going to reach back into the hips and just start to come into a little like cat and cow of the lower back here. So you're going to tip your pelvis forward, tip your pelvis back, and just do that a few times. Forward tip of the pelvis, backward tip, and one more time. Forward tip, backward tip, and then elongate and come forward and come right onto the knees into tabletop. Press into your thumbs and index finger and work into this thoracic part or chest part where you're going to do cat and cow right there from the chest and that upper back. And do that a few times, right, from the chest and round. And two more. Breathing in and round. And one more time. Breathing in and round. Good. We're going to hold a nice strong tabletop. Head is nice and long. Right arm, left leg. Bring it down. Left arm, right leg. Bring it down. Keep the chest and the hips steady. And just keep changing right to left. Just draw the navel in. Draw the navel in. Breathing deeply, you guys. Inhale and exhale. Send that arm all the way out. Send that leg all the way out. You guys want to think about length rather than height. So that's it. Beautiful. Do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees down. Okay, I'm going to turn to you guys. You're going to take that right arm out to the side. Lift it all the way up. Stretch the shoulders. Stretch the chest. Turn the head. Bring that hand behind your back. And let your ear fall to the floor. Bring it back up, and you're going to thread underneath. So you're going to slide that left arm, and your palm's going to be up. Thread all the way underneath, and stick that left leg out to the side as you thread under and press into the shoulder. Little pumps into the shoulder for 4, 3, bellies in, 2, and 1. And we'll rise up, bring that knee back in, lift up. Nice open chest, and bring that down. Bring the hands right underneath. Get a little quick cat and cow again, just to open up through the chest. Come into neutral again. Take that left arm out. You guys are opening up at the chest here, at the shoulder. Breathe in, breathe out. Bring that hand behind the back. Go ahead and get that nice twist. Let the ear fall. Breathe in, head drops down. Lift that arm out. We're going to thread it under. Slide your right hand forward. Bring that arm underneath. Take that right leg out to the side and press into your shoulder for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come right back into the center. Bring yourself into plank position. You guys come right up into nice strong plank. So we're going to hold this nice strong plank and send the crown of the head forward. Rock to your wrist. So you're going to come forward and back through the wrist for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it in the center. Tap your knees down one at a time. Draw the navel in. Keep that lower belly super active, you guys. Go 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then you're going to twist the right side of your hip and the side of your chest and your waist toward the floor. You're going to sink it down. Lift up through the torso. Chest is up high. Come back to the center. Hug the lower belly in. Do the same on the left. Side of the hip. Side of the chest. Sink down a little bit lower. Come back into the center. Come all the way down, knees, chest, and chin. Elbows in. Stick your hips up high. Now you guys want to take your waistline and pull it toward the floor. So squeeze the hips toward the floor. Top of the pelvis. Inhale, slide forward. Come on up. Stretch your legs back a little bit more. Reach the head back. Pull the chest back. And exhale into downward dog. Reach it all the way back. So from this downward dog, you're going to squat. So bend your knees. Push back into your hips. Come forward into plank. Ripple through the spine. Come back into squat. Press forward, ripple through cat stretch into that plank. Try 2 more. Squat deep. And come forward. Stretch the spine. 1 more time. Squat deep. And come forward. And as you come into plank, lift that right leg up and stretch that leg back as much as you can. Crown of the head forward for 3, 2. Drop it down. Do the same on the other. Left leg up, hips stay squared. Pull that leg back for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now drop that down. Lift your left arm. Go ahead and lean on that right hand. Feet are strong. Peel that top arm up. Reach it over the head. Stretch as deep as you can. So you're going to lift your hips super, super high, you guys. Stretch up so that your hips are high. Side of the body to the sky. Come down and we'll try the other side. So you're going to come down into plank. Yep, lift up side two. Reach it all the way up. Yes. Reach that arm all the way over now. Stretch your legs. Stretch to the crown of the head. Pull the side of your hip up. Pull your chest. Pull your waist. You got it. Release it back into the center. Oh yeah. Come forward into the wrists. Come all the way down. Inhale, draw the body up. Now lengthen your legs, you guys, and pump your hips for 4. Get your waist to open up here. 3, lower belly to open. 2, and 1. Go back into downward dog. Squeeze the belly. Bring your right leg up to the sky. Let's go ahead and get that kick. So it's going to go down and kick up high. Spread your fingers, thumbs down, neck long, no tension at the neck. Point the toes here, you guys. Let's do 4. Left heel is down. 3, 2, squeeze into your left hip. And 1, send that foot forward, leg all the way up. Bring it all the way up. Come into this crescent lunge, you guys. Nice big crescent lunge. So we're gonna rise up, open through your hip, pull down, and pulse it for 8, 7, stretch into your back hip, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that left hand down, right arm comes up, and you're gonna send that arm down and up. Do that again, down and up. Open up your chest, and up, back leg super strong, 2, and up. And 1 more time, 1, and up, beautiful. Let's step that back foot in, squeeze those legs together, super strong, you guys. Squeeze right into your hip flexors. So right here, you're drawing your thighs up, you're squeezing your belly down. You're gonna reach up and open your hips. Come back in the squat, reach it all the way down. So 1, squat down. 2, get into that back bend. 3, go ahead and push it, you guys. 4, we are starting fiery. Whew. Now, when you come up, you're going to go over to the right side. So you're going to come up and go over to the right, squat down, go over to the left. There you go. Go ahead and start to build some speed. Trucking it up there. Down, over, down. 1 more each side, you guys. Getting that blood flowing. Woo! All right, both arms come up, come into our back bend. Press the hips forward. So today our focal point is like right where the thighs meet the butt. You're trying to contract that and open from there. And also where the pelvis is, the top of the pelvis. You're trying to back bend from there, where the chest is, back bend from there, and where the neck meets the head. So pump back with the elbows, but let it happen at the chest. Go for it, pull, pull. So it's right at that midpoint, right? Right at that midpoint, right at that bust line for 4, 3, 2, we rise up and we stretch over to the side. So again, you're not stretching from the center of the waist. It's more of like right here at the center of the chest. So pull it over, 2, little more, and 1, come up. We'll try side 2. Give it a good pull, you guys. Stretch that elbow, stretch your arm, and 1. All right, when we come down, hug into your belly, stretch through the chest. You're gonna round through the chest here. Round through the pelvis, coming down, stretch that, and then sink into the hips. So you let your chin tuck in, and you're stretching through the back of the head too, right? So you're breathing in, breathing out. Get that deep stretch into the back. Sway those arms a few times. Whew. All right, step back into plank. Whew. Come into plank position. Tap those knees down. Wrists are nice and strong. Get into the front of the hands, right into the fingers. 2 and 1. Hold the navel in. Drop your right side body, twist, and sink it toward the floor. Sink as low as you can, the side of your hips. Stretch. Come on up. Go over to the other side. Keep your core tight. Sink, sink, sink as low as you can into the side of that hip. Come on up. Come all the way down. Come up into upward facing dog or cobra. Whatever you want to, just make it happy. Lift and into downward dog. Squeeze the navel. All right, so let's spread open the shoulders. Use the hands, the arms, the floor to push the shoulders and the back wide. Keep the belly strong. Lift up our left leg high as you can, you guys, tapping it down, and kick. So you're working into that hip flexor. You're not using your back. Using hip and glute. Point the toes. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step it all the way forward. You guys squeeze it in, step it up. Come into this nice high crescent lunge. Oh yeah, so we're coming up here, we're adjusting everything. Shoulders, hips, everything nice and strong. Navel is in. We're pulling it down and we're pulsing it. We're squeezing into that hip. You're pushing and pulsing into that hip. There you go. Navel's in. Let's go. For 8, 7, belly pumps in. 6, 5, keep pumping the belly. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing that right hand down. Left arm comes up. Reach down into your twist. So you go down and then send it up. Down, send it up. Down and send it up. 3 more. Let's go. 3. Open up that chest and shoulder. 2, and 1. Awesome. Step that back foot in. Come into our chair squat. You guys are in a deep chair squat. So we're moving and grooving this morning. I love it. You want to get these hip flexors to contract. Squeeze the hip flexors. Now, think about all these muscles here raking up from the sides. Inner thigh strong. Navel's in. Chest is up. Reach up those arms. Sink deeper into your hip flexors, you guys, like right here. Just, if I'm like sitting on your lap, I'm like, oh. You're getting right into there, right? Right side, left side. Come into chair twist to the right, to the left side. Open up the arms. Then rise up into standing. We're gonna make this a moving one. Press back into back bend. Remember, you're opening up the front of your hips here. So you're squeezing at the glute crease. You're opening up your pelvis. So right where you would button your pants, the top of the pelvis. You're bending from there. You're bending from the chest and the head. So right side, left side. Come back in a chair. You're gonna squeeze it all. Come back in a chair. Twist to the right. Open up. Chest wide. Come back into standing. These are the 2 moves we're going to pair up, okay? So make sure you do them really clean. You open your hips, you open your chest, and you open your throat. So we come down and we twist all left, open, and rise up. And you go as fast or as slow as you want to, you guys. That's the beauty of yoga. All right? You go faster if you're feeling sluggish this morning and you woke up with foggy brain and slow body. You go a little slower if you feel a little racy, a little like too much going on, right? And that brings balance. So if you're feeling like a speed demon in your head, you slow down your practice. If you're feeling like a snail, a slug, you speed up your practice. If you're feeling pretty balanced, you have a pretty balanced practice. Okay, 1 more on each side. And open. Beautiful. Let's rise up. Bring that right knee up. Extend that right leg. Reach it up and pump it up for 8, 7, 6. Squeeze up the hip. 5. Squeeze up the hip. 4, 3, 2. Send that right leg back. You guys into warrior 1. Send it back. Pump into that hip. Press into your chest. So right here, you guys, is where you're bending back from if you're choosing to do a back bend. You keep this core super steady, right? So you press back for 8, 7, 6. Press these hips forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you're going to bring your hands down, right? So come down and then rise up and do it again. Come down and rise up and let it happen from your upper back, the chest, the shoulders, and the neck. And each time I'm pumping my front leg. 2 more. And 1 more. Woo, bring the hands down. Standing split kick. So you shift up. You use the yoga blocks if you need it. You kick that back leg straight out. So your right leg is back there. You're going to be flexing your foot. So it looks like this. And you kick, kick. And my chest is more like lifted up and forward than it is dropped down. So lift that chest up and forward. There you go. For 8, flex your foot. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up there. Lift your head up, chest up, bend that knee. Foot comes into your booty. Left hand goes back if you can. Catch your foot, squeeze the glute, lift the chest. Pulse it up there for 8, 7, use more legs, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your feet together. Come back in the chair. Rise up. Taking that left leg up. All right, you guys are doing awesome. Left leg up, everything strong. Kick that leg out. Kick it up there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, so strong, 2, and 1. Take that left leg all the way back into warrior 1. Good, position your warrior 1. You guys reach up super, super strong. You guys are going into your back bend. Pulse it back there. So you're pumping your elbows back. You're pumping into that bend of the chest. You're pumping forward with the bend of the hips, right? The pelvis, and the head goes back 2 for 4, 3, 2. Now you bring those arms down and you round through those areas. And then you rise up and you go. And again, faster, slower, totally up to you. But every time I pump into my front leg, when I come down, I pump into it. When I come up, I pump into it. Right into the hip. For 4. You got it. 3. Stay super solid. 2. Go a little further back. And 1. Now we're going to go into that standing split so the hands come down. Your back leg lifts and you flex your foot. And you're pumping that leg up there so my chest is up from the ground. Navel's in. Lower belly's active. My foot is flexed and my chest is up. And I'm kicking that leg further away as I kick it up there. For 8, kick it further away. 7, try not to let it go down. Let it go up there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it, lift the head up. Bend the knee. Catch your foot with your right hand if you can. Otherwise, you can just reach or just bend it and pulse it up there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the feet together. Come into deep forward fold. So again, you guys are pinching at your hips here. Squeeze your thighs up. Pull them up, up, up. Squeeze the lower belly. Reach the arms back. Fold a little bit deeper. At the pelvis, at the chest, and at the head. So arms behind the legs and pull into that fold for 4. You got it. 3, 2. Now walk those hands as far forward as you can, you guys. Stretch as far forward as you can. Pull those hips up and back as much as you can. So lengthen your chest forward. Pull into that stretch. 2, and 1. Bring the hands down. Step back into plank. Woohoo! Take it into push-ups. I'm going to put my knees down. I'm going to open my arms a little wider. You guys can do any style you want to. We go down. Press up. Exhale, come up. Now think about that lower belly active. So right where the pubic bone is, you want to make sure you have length to the pubic bone, but you're feeling like you're pulling that pubic bone up. You're keeping it super strong. Yes. There we go. Arms towing, you guys. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Bring everything back in. Come up back into plank. Bring that left arm up. And come down. Bring that right arm up. So you're going side to side. You want to have a good, strong core as you do this. And make sure you place your hand right under your shoulder. Reach it up. Each time you are placing your hand right under your shoulder. And reach it up. Try that again for 4. Ooh, yeah. 3. So good. 2, and 1. Hold it into plank. Shift it forward. Come on down. Inhaling it up. Stretch your legs. Pull a little more. Pump through the hips. Let's do it, you guys. For 8. Pump through the chest. 7, 6. Head back. 5, 4. Open your hips. 3, 2. Now in this up dog, slant your right hip down and forward. Slant your left hip down and forward. Bring them both and go into downward dog. Woo! Take the right leg up, bend the knee, open your hip to the side, kind of like you're doing tree pose or warrior 2, right? And you lift that knee higher. Lift the outside of your shin. Kick it up there for 8, 7. Belly's in. 6, 5. Low belly's active. 4. Arms tone. Take that leg in, squeeze it into the chest. Tuck it all the way in, squeeze it, just hug it. Just hug the shin in. Bring that leg under the left arm. Stretch it out. You're gonna come to the side like side plank and press your feet and your legs as you come up. So this is like side plank with that bottom leg out. Chest open, stretch through the crown of the head, and pump your hips up to the sky for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back, unwind, take that leg up in the air. Again, kick it up high and step it forward. Woo! Ground that foot, come into warrior 2. So you guys are right up into warrior 2. Send your body right into that good open position. And you're coming down and open. So you're cartwheeling those arms. And you guys want to keep getting length. And you want to keep finding your flexibility at the pelvis and at the chest. Right? We're so flexible more at the waist than we are in those areas. So I want you to keep thinking about it. Where your mind goes is where your energy is going to flow. So let it go to those areas that are not very flexible and encourage them. Let's go for 4, 3, 2. All right, you guys, come forward and we are going to pivot to the front. Okay, so your right leg's in front. I'm just going to switch my legs so I can be with you guys. Right leg is in front. And come down with your hands. Walk your right foot to the left of the yoga mat. We're going into pigeon pose. So walk your foot all the way to the left edge, and then your right knee falls to the right edge. So your shin is in line with that narrow end of your yoga mat. So you have a good line. See your shin and that line, they're parallel. You're going to roll that left hip toward the floor. So the outside of your left hip is rolling toward this left foot. So keep trying to send that connection as you lift your chest. Send your back leg back and keep rolling the outside of that left hip toward the floor on the left. Keep rolling it. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. And lift your chest as you do it. For 4, stretch your legs, stretch your hip. 3, stretch your hip. 2. Now right here, you guys, you're stretching here at that glute line. We're also, when we come forward, going to stretch right here at the pelvis. So don't let your pelvis go backwards. Take the top of the pelvis and move it forward toward the shin. Top of the pelvis moves forward to the shin, and you're going to get a good stretch that way. If you start to move the pelvis back, you start to round your back, and you're missing that glute stretch. Hands can stay here. They can come down. But keep that outer left hip down. Keep stretching that pelvis forward and breathing. So if you tip your pelvis back, your head will go down and it'll look like you're really flexible, but you really want the flexibility to come from here. So top of the pelvis down. 2 and 1. All right, let's come on up. Woo! Sit back into plank. Oh, that leg feels so good. Come all the way down. Inhaling up. Pump your hips. And go into downward dog. Reach it back. So you're going to feel the difference in the legs right away in downward dog. Left leg comes up to the sky. Bend your knee in the air and open it up like tree pose. Pump it up to the sky. Side of the shin, side of the knee. Keep pulsing the arms and that leg for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now tuck the knee in and just give it a good squeeze at the hip flexor. So squeeze the belly. Maybe you're coming through to like a plank. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Take that left leg under the right arm, out to the side. Straight legs. Turn into side plank. Both legs straight. Press your feet like you have walls under your feet, right? Or floor under your feet. And you're going to push up for 8, 7. Keep pulsing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that down. Send that leg up in the air again. Send it up. And then step it forward for warrior 2. You guys are coming on up into warrior 2. I'm just going to turn to mirror you guys. So you're in that warrior 2 position. You come down and swing those arms. So once again, you guys, on this side, same thing as the other side. You're moving from the pelvis, from the hip, from the chest, even from the head. right? So you're getting that nice mobility for 4, 3, awesome, 2, nice, and 1. And you're gonna hold it. You're gonna pivot, pivot, pivot into that crescent lunge. You're gonna turn toward that left foot, right? I'm gonna turn with you guys on this side. So my left foot is in front, your left foot is in front, right leg is back. Reach down to the floor. Your left foot walks the right edge of your yoga mat. Don't have anything like in your mind like this foot's gonna be better or worse, this leg or hip is gonna be better or worse. Just let that knee go down. And just stay in the moment, right? Back leg straight. You guys have that knee to the outside, foot to the outside, shin parallel to that narrow side of your mat. Back leg straight, keep sending it back. Outside of your right hip goes toward the floor or toward that heel. And you're stretching that glute on that left side, just like you did on the other. You're lifting your chest and organizing your chest. There's no twists, no rotation. Just stay nice and clean line. Now, when you guys start to come forward, again, it's from the top of the pelvis. Don't let the top of the pelvis go back, which will round your spine to drop your head. You don't want to do that. You want the top of the pelvis to tip forward, come forward, lengthen toward the shin. While the bottom of the pelvis is going back, right? You get that stretch. And keep going. Maybe use your hands in front of you. So for this side, I kind of need my hands to the side, but if you guys put yours in the front, and you guys want to take that outside of your hip down, still, outside of right hip, and keep reaching into that awesome stretch of that left hip and glute. Go a little deeper, you guys. Top of the pelvis forward. Step right into it. 2, and 1. Woo! All right, let's rise up again when you're ready. Take that up there. Send that leg up. Woo! Release it down. Stretch into plank. Have a nice strong plank. Drop the knees, come into push-ups, or stay on your toes. I'm going wide. This is the way I do my push-ups with the arms out, all right, for my shoulder stuff. But you guys want to have them narrow, any other position that works for your shoulders. Let's go for 8, 7. Make sure your chest is forward. 6. Everybody forward. 5. There you go. 4. Nice. 3, 2. All right, let's bring those hands in. Come all the way down again. Turn your feet out. Turn your toes out. Turn your knees out. Bring the arms in and squeeze the elbows in. So you guys, just right here, just bring your palms down by your ribs. Squeeze the elbows in. Squeeze the shoulders down the back. And push the chest open by pulling those shoulders down the back. And then lift. And stick the chest out. And stretch the belly. And pump into your hips again for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we come all the way down. Bring those feet in. So we come into downward dog. Squeeze up into the belly. Woo! Press back. As we push into downward dog, you guys squeeze your hip flexors. So you're going to pull the tops of your quads up into your hips. Lower belly's in. Right leg comes up. Send it up. Super, super high. Circle your ankle around. Circle it the other way. Step it forward. Woo! All right, ground the back foot and rise up into triangle pose. So stretching out the arms. You guys, I'm just gonna mirror you. Again, straight leg, straight arms. Make sure the hips are strong. As they're coming out to the side here and reaching the arm up. Arm up, other arm down. So today we're gonna go into like where the rim of the hips are. So you definitely bend right here at the thigh. So if you guys put your arm, your hand here, and you kind of wiggle that thigh bone around, it rotates. So you're bending from there for sure. But I'm going to encourage you guys now to bend at the pelvis too. So you're sending this into a stretch. So you're lengthening the side as that top arm comes up, and then it's going to come over. And some of you guys might be able to send 2 arms out. So you're lengthening 2 sides. The bottom hip lengthens as much as this top hip, so it doesn't collapse down. You're stretching sides of the chest. 2, and 1. Rise up and pivot over that leg and go ahead and extend down and forward. So you guys are going to squeeze in this quad. Now really, really dominate, you guys. Flex your foot here, if you can, and squeeze into your quad. So pull your top of your thigh right up here at the hip flexor. Pull it up, 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 and squeeze the belly down into it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down, come into twist. You would have that left hand down, and that right arm comes up. Squeeze into the quad, squeeze into the hip, and press into the pelvis. Get into your good rotation. Stretch the sides of the hips. Stretch the side of the chest for 3. Yeah, 2, and 1. And we rise up, and you're turning to that long side of your yoga mat. Come down into your squats. Yep, come all the way down. You guys just pump down for 8, 7. Right into your hips here. 6, bellies in. 5, 4, 3. Now stay down low. Your arm's going to reach up and out. So it's going to be cardio just using those arms. Woohoo. So again, this is really good for heart circulation. All right, just keeping everything nice and strong. Breathing in, breathing out. Good shoulder strength, upper back strength. Let's do it for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands down. You're going to lunge right to left, and you're just going to kind of move right to left in through the hips here. And you guys want to make sure you're moving from the pelvis, from the hips, not solely from the knees. And if you want to, you can add the arms. That's up to you. You add the same arms you just did to your side lunge. And you're getting your heart rate up if you're wanting to do it. And I don't care what the arms look like. You shouldn't either. Just get your heart rate up. Get your body tall. Core is strong and breathing, right? That's all it's all about, right? So you're breathing in, breathing out for 4. Get deeper if you can to the hips. 3, 2, and 1. All right, come on up. Turn your feet in, toes in. Sides of the heels go out. Press up through the glutes. Open through the chest. Clasp the hands back. Feel like you are doing a back bend here. The chest. Keep it open as you come down. So keep it open at the chest as you squeeze into the hips and bring the arms over the head. So keep pulling that chest open, you guys. Don't let your chest drop. Don't round your upper back. Yeah, keep lifting it. Use those elbows and arms to pull your chest open more. Squeeze into the hips for 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Release the hands down. Pivot over your front leg. Drop your back leg super, super long. Go ahead and stretch that back leg. And right here, you guys, the outside of your hip, you're going to roll to it. So you're going to roll to the outside of that hip. This is kind of like when you're going to go into pigeon pose, right? Where the outside of your hip comes down. This is where we have flexibility. Remember, at the waist, we don't want to keep doing that. We want to go into these hip areas. So try to restrict that, like hug in through the core so that you can send it into the hip. 2, and 1. All right, let's come into plank. Let's take our last little series here, you guys. Come all the way into plank. Everything is strong. Come on down. Inhaling up. Exhale into downward dog. Reach it back. Squeeze into the glutes. Stretch the shoulders, chest, head, and neck. Left leg goes up. Circle your ankle. Circle the other way. Send that left foot forward for triangle pose. So you send it up. Left leg, triangle pose. Extend. So you guys are going to come out into your triangle. All right, remember, we are trying to crease, of course, here and rotate open here. Right, you're pivoting and rolling that open. But now, right now, we're trying to stretch the side of the hip, not through, the waist. You want to get more down into the hip. And this top arm's going to come over. And if you're able to, bottom arm. When you're doing that bottom arm, you're still pulling the hips. You're pulling both sides of the waist for 3. Sides of the hips, I should say. 2, and 1. All right, let's come on up and pivot over that front leg. So we're going to come down. Flex your foot. Squeeze into that hip flexor. Squeeze into your quad. So left quad, left hip flexor, all that's coming up. Your lower back is coming down to it for 3. Breathe deeply, guys. Find your strength. 2. Dropping that foot down. Good. Right hand down, left arm up. Come into your twist. Okay, so keep the sides of the hips stretching. Keep twisting at the chest, at the hips, at the waist. 2, and 1. Unwind. Come back into the center. Squat down super low. Open the hips. For 4. Sink a little bit into it. 3, 2, and 1. Come over to one side, doesn't matter which side, just stretch out your leg, like pull that long leg straight out there and pump into that inner thigh and stretch that hip for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go to the other side. Go ahead and pump into it. Stretch that leg out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on up and pivot over that front leg and drop your back leg down. Drop it down. Roll to the outside of that hip. So you guys are right into the hip here. This whole area of the pelvis. So restrict the rib cage. Hold that strong. Let that hip stretch. The other knee can flop out. Oh, yeah. All right. We're going to come and have a seat. We use the blocks here. So you guys are going to have your blocks if you have them. And again, if you don't have them, it doesn't matter. You have 3 different heights. I'm going to use the lowest height, but if you're like daredevil, you can use the higher heights. But they're going to be for your feet when we do bridge pose. So feet are going to be on it. I'm going to come into bridge. Kind of gives you a little bit more of a height, a little bit more work into your hamstrings. Trying to get your toes on it, heels on it. Again, don't worry if you don't have it. Of course, you can still do it without. All right, shoulders nice and strong, nice and open. I'm going to lift up into bridge. Everyone has that lower belly pubic bone nice and strong. Keep it super active. Pull the belly in, shoulders back, crown of your head to the wall behind you. Coming down and up and press into those blocks. And again, if you don't have the blocks, you just imagine that you have blocks there. Your feet are nice and steady and they're balancing on the blocks. If you wanted to try the higher height, you go for it, right? And if you, this class is being recorded, so if you kind of like it and want to do it again, like over the weekend or something like that, and you get blocks, you can go ahead and play with the block height. For 8, 7, 6, 5, shoulders open, you guys. Really keep improving your posture. 3, 2, now we're going to hold it up there, squeeze through the glute, make sure your pelvis is even, so the top of the hips are even with each other, with the bottom of the hips, with the chest, and you lift that right leg up, and you're balancing on that block, so it does make it a little bit more challenging as you come down and up, down and up. Just want to keep that glute steady, looking good, you guys, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's drop that down. Let's go ahead and bring that left one up, or side 2. Make sure the hips are steady, posture is good, chin is up, and we come down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll drop that right down to the block. Lower down your spine, lower down your chest, lower down your pelvis, lower down the hips and the pubic bone, right down to the floor. Tuck the knees in. And so when you guys are doing these next few postures and the hips are closed in, really hug in so that you feel like the quads or the tops of your thighs are driving into your hips. And that lower belly and lower back are active toward your thighs. So don't let your lower back slouch into the floor. Keep it active like you're sitting up tall in a chair. And so when we lift, you're tipping the head. So the chin has this nod right where the jawline is. And you're going to come up if it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, then just, keep the head down, or you can put the block under your head. But you're going to start to squeeze the hips, draw in the navel, tuck in the chin, curl right at the chest so your abs are working. Breathe deeply. Take that right leg in and that left leg out. So your left leg is going to come to the block if it's there, and that's totally fine. Nose to knee, stretching out this hip, pulling this one in, 2, and then switch. Getting good length, you guys, so you're going to stretch it out here, right? If that block is there or not there, don't worry about it. You can send it to it or down, but have the nose go to the knee. Keep your hips squared. And 1, beautiful. So if you have the blocks, you're going to take the block, one of them, up under your pelvis. I'm going to stretch open the hips. Make sure it's not under your waist. It's under the hips here. And you're going to stretch out your legs. And right on it feels like the outsides of the front of your hips. So the front of your hips and just kind of go to the outsides. You want to lengthen there. So you're sending your tops of your thighs to your feet. And you're sending the top of the pelvis toward your chest. The arms go over the head. And you lengthen your legs, so you point the toes and straighten the knees. And you're breathing in and breathing out. So every time we inhale, we get more length right to the crown of the head. Every time we exhale, we just sink into it. Stretch those toes. One more time, you guys. Breathe in and breathe out. We'll bring those legs up and stretch the legs straight up. So feet are going to be flat. This is kind of a tricky one, again, to really uncover without some guidance sometimes. But if you feel your pubic bone really needs to be flat, right? The bottom tip of it, it doesn't point upwards. So the pubic bone is super flat, and you are actually pressing down on it with your lower belly. And even though it's flat, you feel like you slide it up a little bit toward your navel, right? You don't tip it up. You just kind of give it a little pull up, and it's like you're zipping it up to the belly button, and it will activate your core. Now, we do this in Pilates. We're doing it tomorrow, how to do that. We're just going to keep working on that. So tomorrow's class is going to be all about that. This is our little kind of just finding it. So you don't tip your pelvis. You tip your pelvis, your legs come in, right? You're actually using your hip flexors and your core when you do it this way. The other way, you're just weakening through the back. So keep pulling as much as you can. 2 and 1. All right, let's drop the feet down. Let's open up. Get rid of the block if you have it. And open the knees out to the side so your knees come to your shoulders. And again, still find that pelvic strength. Flex your feet into happy baby pose. Press down your feet. So activate your feet against your hands, hands against your feet. Sink your shoulders back and press your head back. Navel is in, you guys. Now find that again at that pubic bone if you can, right? So find it again where you find the length to the pubic bone, bottom tip presses down, and then you feel like you slide the pubic bone up to the navel. You give it a little lift, right? Shoulders wide, head is up, and we'll open the legs out to the side. So you can hold the feet, you can hold your shins, you can do the toe lock, but try to keep those legs strong. Try to keep the pelvis strong, and this is really a good practice, is that pelvic stability, breathing deeply, neck is long. Beautiful. And we'll cross the right leg over the left, you guys. And when you cross your thighs over, hug the knees into the chest. And as you hug them in, do your best to find the top of the pelvis, right? And not tip it back, right? So right at the top, hip crest, pelvic crest. Don't tip it backwards. Hold it steady as you squeeze the knees in. If you're able to, you grab down low at your feet and pull your feet away from each other, right? Just try to stretch them out. And breathe as you do this. All right, let's unwind and switch to the other leg. So left thigh on top, hug knees in, find the pelvic stability. So your pelvis might swing a little bit and you want to just find the stability. If you're able to draw the knees in and grab your thighs, do that. If you're able to grab your lower part of your legs and pull your feet away from each other, go ahead and do that. Feels really good. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful job. All right. So we're going to rock ourselves up into seated. Extend the legs out. So we stretch the legs super straight and strong. You're pulling your thighs or your sits bones or your glutes out to the side, and you want to lift them and pull them all up. So legs are straight and strong. Okay, so if you have your yoga blocks, we're going to use them for the next part, but you can also use them here if you want to. You can slide the blocks here, or you can use the yoga straps. You can press your hands into the blocks or into your legs. But extend the chest and tip right here, you guys, the top of the pelvis forward. On the right side, on the left side. Squeeze the quads, squeeze the hip flexors. Press your lower back and feel the length of the pubic bone now, right? So pubic bone's pulling backwards. Chest long. 2 more breaths. All right, we're going to come up into table. So you slide the hands back, or ramp pose. So ramp pose is with your legs straight. Table is with your knees bent. Okay, so ramp pose is here. You can stay with that. Table is here, opening your hips. Either way, you're pumping your hips up like when we do in like cobra or up dog for 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep pumping the hips. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Let's come onto the belly. So we're going to use the blocks here. Your arms are going to be out. Hands are going to be on the blocks, just the way you have your feet on them. And think about length more than height. So stretch your legs straighter. Pull your arms straighter. And press your hands down into the blocks. Press, press, press. And then grab a hold of the blocks and you lift them up. So keep pumping the blocks up there as you hold on to them for 8, 7, 6. Stretch the arms and legs. 5. Get straighter. 4, 3, 2. Hold them as high as you can. Bring them out to the side and back for 1. Bring them up again. 2. Stretch the neck. 3. And 4, and then they go out to the side and you pump the arms up for 8. Get them straighter. 7, 6, pump the arms. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Release that down, bring the hands back, and open up into child's pose. So open through the knees, get the hips back. Reach the arms forward again. Now here you can also use the blocks. So if you have them, you would come right into this stretch where the hands are on the blocks and you are stretching your chest to the floor. So you want to get that length. And again, try to feel the length of the pubic bone, like stretch it, stretch it, stretch it. So your pubic bone doesn't curl. The bottom tip of it long. And then you do that little slide of the pubic bone up toward the navel, right? So you get that strength into the pelvic floor. All right, coming into extended puppy pose again. Feel free to use the blocks. Knees come back under the hips. And this is where you are tipping here, you guys, at that sacrum, lower back. You keep the navel in, so keep that from, and you're back bending from the chest, from the lower back, and even from the head if you want to, right? So you're pushing open the chest. You're pushing open the front of your hips. And maybe even the head, right? So you can get that little tip back. And breathe. Awesome. All right, let's release that down. And we'll come and have a seat. Just a quick forward bend. Use the yoga strap here. I like doing it this way today, these days. Taking the left foot in and kind of getting that right leg out to the side, lifting up tall. So again, if you don't have a strap, towel, anything will do. If you can, press the foot against the inner thigh, holding that leg steady so it doesn't flop around. If you have the strap, you can put it right around your foot here. And you're lifting your chest, but you're using the strap more as a tool to make sure that your foot doesn't turn right or left. You're holding it straight. So use the strap like that. And then use the strap to pull your entire leg into your hip. And then you press the hip into your leg. So you can either bend your elbows to the floor or walk your hands a little straighter. But you're pulling evenly on 2 sides of the thigh. And you're lengthening your spine. And you start to come forward, right? So that you're bending from that glute area and the hip flexor is getting real strong. Okay, so if you can grab your foot, you're gonna grab your foot with your hands. Otherwise, you're still using the strap. And you're stretching the back of your knee. So everyone's pulling the back of your knee towards your heel. Front of the knee comes up. Square the shoulders. Square the ribs. Square the hips. Tone through the leg. Awesome. All right. And we'll come up and over to the side. So you're going to just hold on to the leg, foot strap with that right hand, and you turn your left chest and left shoulder back as far as you can. Just keep turning back, and then we'll reach over. Okay, so you're going to come right over, and you can kind of bend down a little bit. Now you can remove your hand from that right foot and bring it to the left knee if you want to, and give this little opposite pull, right? So that right shoulder actually slides over to the left knee, and that left shoulder slides over to the right knee, and you're pulling over at the chest and hip, and lengthening your spine. Pull the torso, and exhale. One more time, guys. Pull the torso, and exhale. Beautiful. Let's rise up, and we'll try the other side. So just going to give a nice little switch here. So leg's not off too far because you want to make it manageable. You want to make it doable. And you go ahead and turn right over to the foot. So using straps, whatever you got, use it to adjust your foot so your heels and toes aligned and the inner and outer edges of your foot are aligned. And then pull your leg into your hip and press your pelvis into your leg. So you're going to get that good position there. You come forward, stretching from the glute, the hamstring. And again, you can bend your elbows, just pull on two sides of the strap. If you're holding onto your foot, you're pulling evenly on two sides of the foot. Shoulders squared, torso long. Try to let go of any resistance or any holding back you have at the side of the hip, side of the chest, and breathe. Inhale and exhale. Come down a little more if you can. A little more pull, squeezing the quad, stretching the back of the knee. All right, and then we rise up, and you keep your left hand on that foot strap, whatever, and that right hand goes back all the way, chest, shoulder, and we'll bring that over. And you could stay there or taking that left hand to the right knee and pull. So your shoulder goes down and under. The other shoulder goes over, and keep stretching the side of your hip, side of your chest, and breathe. Nice. All right, let's come on up. We're going to take it to seated twist when we come down in the back. So for seated twist, let's start with your legs out here. And sit up tall, tall, tall. So pelvis is up, glutes are active. Again, get that flesh out of the way if you need to, right? So you're going to take that left leg over the right. This right leg can stay straight, or you can kind of lean over and pull that foot beside your hip. Okay, so either way you want to do it. Straight leg, if you can get that bent. And then you press your sitting bones down, and this is going to be a really key part of your strength in your pelvis. Press the sits bones evenly down, find that pubic bone length, and lift the top of the pelvis up. So right at your hip crest, pelvic crest, the ilium, you're lifting that up. All right, and you're just gonna hug in to the knee and bringing the other hand back. And now you're twisting from way down here, you guys, from the sitting bone area. You're trying to rotate your spine from there. So you lift and twist. And you're twisting at the chest and right at the head too, right where the ears are. So you're twisting at like the armpit, at the ears, and at your sit bones. And you're breathing in and breathing out. Lift up your spine a little bit more and just turn your head the opposite way. So keep everything pulling where it's pulling. Just turn your head so that your head will turn and the chin will go beyond that right shoulder. Keep the shoulders open and back. Don't round your shoulders. And then release and unwind it all. Come back into the center, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So seated twist, just make it a little bit more specific, keeping that left leg straight, right leg comes over, stay like that, or sweep it back. If you sweep it back, it's a little bit harder to hold the sitting bones down and hold your pelvic straight. So that's why we do straight leg if you can't hold the pelvis. So do your best to get both sitting bones down, find that pubic bone length and that kind of length and lift, and you're hugging this in while you do all that good stuff. Bringing that back, lift the top of your pelvis and twist from the sitting bone area, right? Twist from the chest. Keep the shoulders open around your shoulders. Twist from the jawline or from the ears, right? So you're rotating there and you're lifting and twisting. Breathing in, breathing out. So keep the twist, just turn your head, you guys, the other way. So you keep twisting your pelvis and your chest one way, and turn your head, turn your head, turn your head, And then release it all. Whew. Come on to the back. Nice job. And using the block, if you have it, for a chest opener one more time before we come into Shavasana. So again, the block would be right so that you can bend right at that chest line, right, brow line, right at the chest. You're going to open back, and knees can be bent or straight. Let's see if you can kind of roll your head right to left so that you're opening up. Your arms can be to the side rather than overhead, right? So keep opening the chest. Again, you could do this flat on the floor. You could do it on a cushion. Yoga blocks are very helpful to get all those heights to them. It can help you in your practice. All right. And so if you want to stay on the block, you can. If you want to practice Shavasana with me, get rid of that block and bring the arms and legs out. Just open your legs wider than your hips. Draw the navel into a relaxed, settled position. Chest balanced, arms balanced, head in the center and balanced. Top of the head is back, eyes closed. Relax your body. Be in present moment. Continue practicing settling the mind by following your inhale and your exhale. And whatever arises in your mind or in the physical body, just try to let it go. So you feel your breath in and your breath out. So your mind is not part of your body. So when the body is still, the mind might get very busy. And so we're practicing settling the mind, just like we settle the body. Right? They're very separate, but when you have them settled together, we're in good union. So keep feeling relaxation at your legs, your feet, your hips. Keep feeling relaxation at the buttocks, the low belly, the low back. Feeling the breath moving in the body as you relax the chest, the shoulders, the arms, the neck, the jaw. The forehead, eyes, cheeks, top of the head. And if your mind is, just kind of peeking around or talking to you, just settle the mind to follow the breath. And just be here for just a few more moments. Maybe encouraging a hum sound to yourself as you exhale. All right. And as we come out of Shavasana together, you just start to open your eyes and close your jaw slowly. Relax your fingers and toes, arms and legs. Bring your knees into your chest and rolling side to side. And take your time being on your side for a little bit before you bring yourself up to seated. Okay. So when you do come up to seated, just balance your pelvis, your waist, your chest, crown of the head. And just take a few moments to settle into this spot, in just a moment or two. And we're keeping in our practice body healthy, mind healthy, and spirit healthy. We all kind of know how to keep the body healthy. We eat right and we exercise. Mind and the spirit gets a little different because the mind is not the brain, right? And the mind can be affected by anger, frustration, greed, whatever's going on, impatience, being overwhelmed. So it's a continuous practice of getting rid of those things. When they arise in you, just sending them away so you can be in this present, peaceful place in the mind. And of course, our spirituality is more of an uplift and a connection to a higher spirit, right? Higher power. So continue your practice, you guys, all day today. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.